This is Cos for the Nora, and you're watching the Chat with Chaps live show.
Good evening and welcome to the Chat with Chaps live show. I'm your host, Joe Zampa, and tonight we've got a fantastic show lined up for you. First of all, let me introduce you, my guest. Before I do that, big thank you to Spectrum VR, our sponsors. Thank you for all your support. And don't forget, guys, to please like and subscribe. Everything we make for this channel goes to Cancer Research UK. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Make sure you like this show if you're happy to like it. Yeah, forget to do it at the end. We haven't reached 300 yet in a while. We hit 300 once, and we average about 250, 260. So come on, guys, let's get to 300. Let's make it happen. You can make it happen. Right, first of all, guys, let me introduce you to the first co-host is the Danish Destroyer, Jesper. How you doing, Jesper? You good?
I am. Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you, and thanks for having me back. Same panel as last week, so it will be interesting, and looking forward to it. Relieved after the weekend as well.
They always say if you've got a winning team, you don't tinker it, do you? You don't change the starting 11, do you? You know.
True.
So let's see that proves right. Cheers for coming on, Jesper. And above yourself is the one and only Mill Encyclopedia. It's Stato Stephen. How you doing, Stato?
I'm very well, Joe. Very well. Hope everyone's good. I should, at this point, I was thinking about this the other day. You come on here and you give us all an amazing intro, and you never get one every week. So hosting the show tonight, guys, is the ultimate professional. Behind the scenes, you won't have known just the effort that he has put in to get this professional and you know, up to the standard that we've got. It's the prolific bagsman, Joe Zampa.
Oh my God! No, honestly, I feel quite emotional after hearing that. I wasn't expecting that. I was waiting for some abuse and talk about my miss and all that stuff. So,
I do have to point out that Ben Green, Northern Ben, has scored more goals than you at the Den, so he's claiming to be more prolific. But you are the prolific bagsman and co-host extraordinaire. There we go.
Well, I'll take that as an honour, Stato. I do really appreciate it. And you have got something to share with us at the end, didn't you? So please stick around,
I do,
guys.
yes, I do.
Stato's got something to share right at the very, very end. And last but certainly not least, the man, the myth, the legend is Disco Steve. How you doing, Disco?
Evening, Joe. I'm really good, thanks. And believe it or not, I can't hear it again, but I'm going to groove away. Am I in one of these like silent disco?
We can all hear it. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Can you both hear it? Can you hear music? Stephen, this week, can you hear?
No, I can't hear a thing, mate. I'm just, no.
Something not right, Joe. Anyway, thank you. Look, there's a lot of love on the show tonight, so I want to add to that, Joe. I'm delighted to be in the presence of YouTube royalty, I believe Angelo called it earlier on his analysis show. Daniel Day Zampa. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but that's what he calls you on the show. So I'm up for a bit of that.
No. It was a great occasion, great day. Glad I went, and massive shout out to TT and Zach. Good to see you boys. Obviously, Phil and Jack Clark. Ben Green, of course, and his old man Mickey. Always good to see Mickey as well. And also shout out to Lions Raw, who sat in front of me as well. So good to see you, mate. And Anthony was there with his lovely family as well. So I'm sure he'll be on the live as well. So let's not keep them waiting. Let's go to the live very, very quickly and say hello. So we'll go through this very, very fast. Evening, fellas. Evening, Carl. Hope you're well, mate. Here you go. Disco. Millwall for life. Ken, good to see you. John, good to see you. Our lovely kind donation, John. Honestly, mate, thank you so much. £10 donation there from John. Jeff Chandler, friend of the show as well. There he is. Anthony, hope you're well, mate. Chris Brown, good to see you. Dave, good to see you as well. Jeff, hope you're well. Good to see you, Leslie. Alex, MFC, Born Free, Die Free. Good to see you, Mark Lindsay. Going to fly through these guys. There's loads of you in there at the moment. Andrew, good to see you as well. Angelo, the Sicilian Godfather, just made it home from work. Angelo, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Curtin's good to see you. Ben DeViva, good to see you as well, mate. Spencer, good to see you. The Awful Gambler, Dan, hope you're well, mate. Kenneth, good to see you as well. Barry, good to see you. Hello from Northern Ireland. New listener, I think. Okay. Barry, good to see you, mate. John, good to see you. Matt, good to see you as well. And Bobby T in the house, hope you're well. There he is, Lions Roar. Good to see you. The bloke in front of you with the bright orange jacket. How could I miss you, mate? I mean, Jesus. I'm joking. Good to see you, mate. Bobby T, good to see you. Good to see you. And there's Mummy Jones. Hope you're well, Monica. And here we go. Alex, right, we're all good. So, guys, look, thank you so much for being with us this evening. I'm going to get your comments up on the screen. So it's there for us to see on the side there, just beside Jesper. And I think we're good to go. So, first of all, we'll go to you first, Jesper. What did you make of our performance at Hillsborough? It finished Sheffield Wednesday 1, Millwall 2.
It was very stressful to watch because we knew we had to win the game, and notoriously we don't win these sort of games. That's the bottom line. And when we went down to 1-0, I thought, well, here we go again. We hadn't. I think in the beginning, I thought we were all right first half. We did create enough to be in front by halftime, but we didn't take our chances. And then I think second half, they sort of had their tails off first 15, 20 minutes. And when they scored as well, then they were really on top. So good to see that we could come back. And two great goals. The first one, Watson, I know we will go into details later, but great impact that the subs have. Was really pleased to see that. Was a bit surprised to see Maka coming on before Ivanovic, but that turned out to be a great move. So, fair play. So overall, just relieved. It's one of them where I wasn't really looking forward to the game because we had all to lose, and it was just one of them. Could we just get over the line? And I generally think that if we are to push for the top two, we're still in there and thereabouts. We had to win that game. Had we not won it, I would have said, okay, then we don't deserve to maybe challenge for these two spots at the very top.
Absolutely, and you're right. I think consistency is important. It's key, especially at this stage of the season with only a few more games left, 14 games left, I think something along those lines.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm going to come to yourself next. Before I do that, before I forget, just want to give a special mention to Clive Gregory, friend of the show. Clive has run the Great North Run. So a massive thank you to Clive Gregory. So all money's raised, which is £1,185.61, which is incredible. It's all going to Cancer Research UK, and he's doing it in association with Chaps, in partnership with our show. So, Clive, are you watching, mate, or you watch us back afterwards? Thank you so much, and we do really appreciate that. That's really kind of you. I also met with Ash, as you know, who's the father of Elisa. So if you remember Elisa's journey, she had a spinal bifida, which is a surgery she had to have on her spine, didn't she? At a very young age, at 25 weeks old. So she had a really tough lesson before even turning the age of 1 year old. And two of his close friends of the family are running from the Den to Coventry, which is about 100 miles. And they're doing over it's literally 4 marathons. Incredible achievement. And they are looking to raise money for the charity. I know lots of you in here have donated already, which is absolutely fantastic. So I'm just going to put the link there again, guys, for those that want to donate, that haven't donated yet. So there's an opportunity for you to do so. So I'm going to put it in here now for you. So you can copy and paste it and put a lovely donation there towards it, which is really good. You can see that on the screen there. So really do appreciate that. Ash, good to see you, mate, on Sheffield Wednesday as well. So good to see you there on Saturday. Disco, sorry, over to yourself, mate. What's your thoughts on our performance on Saturday?
Yeah, listen, before I do, Joe, wow, isn't it brilliant what people are doing for charity? It's absolutely fantastic. People go to another level, so it's brilliant, and brilliant to be part of this as a vehicle to sort of help with that. But yeah, Saturday, I think echo Jesper's thoughts there. I think we all thought it could look. You thought either way, it's either going to be a comfortable win or a typical Millwall struggle. Sadly, it seemed to be the latter. I think very similar to Wrexham I called that last week a statement result. I think in a way this was as well, in that this was a 1-0 down. How many people were thinking, bloody typical Millwall, we turn up, one of our worst performances, although it probably wasn't actually one of our worst performances, but just typical of us to sort of lower our standards, get dragged into a dogfight and end up losing a really important game. And then not only do we turn it round and get an equaliser, but to then go and turn that round into a win. Let's be honest, look at our recent record. We don't come from behind many times and win games, let alone get a draw. So although it was Sheffield Wednesday and, who are struggling a bit, but they weren't as bad as you probably anticipated. So an absolutely vital win in terms of keeping the momentum going. And most of all, Joe, keeping the belief both in ourselves, the management team, and most importantly, the players. And you got that sense. Didn't see it, but you were there, Joe. Seemed like the players didn't, I think it was TT in his review, said the players didn't really seem to celebrate it hugely at the end. They were happy, but they were quite down. I think they realised, fuck, we could have blown that there, and were just relieved to get through the game. So a lot of belief will have come from that win. And I think Chris said in his post-match, we probably need, 7 more wins to get in the top 6. I've got to say, I'm pretty confident we'll do that. So, look, we'll come on to that. But yeah, really pleasing to get the 3 points over the line.
Brilliant. Cheers for that, Disco. And come to yourself, Stato. Stato, you know the history, don't you, with Ben Green? You know his terrible run leading up to Sheffield Wednesday game. So Ben's been to about 5 or 6 games this season, okay? And he hasn't watched us score a goal, let alone seen us win a game. So you can imagine my shock and horror when I knew that he was going to go to the game halfway up to Sheffield, thinking, no. I was praying that, he'll end up getting a puncher, or, he couldn't make the game. And of course, the first 45 minutes, it was such a shocking performance. I kept turning around looking at him saying, Ben, can you just go home? Can you just leave? Like, just go. So let's start. What's your thoughts on the performance?
Well, I mean, it's weird to say, really, because we've dominated. If you look at the stats, we've dominated the game, but without really playing very well. And I know it's an odd thing to say. It doesn't match up, does it? When you dominate a game, you expect to have been played really, really well, but we didn't. We had a lot of the ball, which was to be expected. I think there's other fixtures that are coming up that we're going to have a lot of the ball again, that we would need to play considerably better than what we did on Saturday. I think the key thing, and Jesper said it, that we're notoriously bad in these kind of fixtures and we don't get over the line. And to get over the line is the main thing at this point of the season. That's all that matters is 3 points. Yes, we might have to play better in bigger games, or if we think we're going to get into the playoffs, which I am with Steve. I think we've put ourselves in a position now where I think we're not dead certs. No, you can never ever say dead certs, but we're in a very, very strong position to do that. So we'd have to play better. But to get 3 points was the main thing. I think the other thing I would say on Sheffield Wednesday is it's interesting that our players didn't celebrate as much as what they could have after other wins, like they did at Wrexham. However, the Sheffield Wednesday players, you could see how much of their goal meant to them. That result would have meant an awful lot to them on Saturday. And
just
you know,
all the goal was
great.
They hadn't scored a goal since Boxing Day, have they? So you can imagine what them and the fans were feeling. Yeah.
All the like the second tier was one, and you got I think the 44 is another one. There's a load of other Twitter pages going, Sheffield Wednesday have scored, buzzing for the fans. There was a lot of people that were looking at it, probably wanting them to hold on, if that makes sense. There's a lot of people that want Millwall to get into the Premier League, but there'll be a lot of people that were probably against us on Saturday. So to come back was very, very pleasing. We'll come on to Watson and Macaulay Langstaff and perhaps a couple of the other players, but I just think at the moment 3 points is everything. And I know you want to play better, but if you're winning games of football, that's really the overriding factor. We got over the line.
Absolutely. I think the key thing is, as you say, 3 points is the important thing. No one remembers the performance, how well, how badly we played. All remember coming in the season, whether we make it into the playoffs or automatic promotion. It's winning games like that. So job done. We've got
Joe, can I just ask you, as you were there, Did you feel we were going to get back into the game, or did you feel that was it?
You know what? It's interesting, right? When we scored the equaliser, I didn't celebrate. It's almost like you see footballers when they score a goal and the first thing they just grab the ball from the back in net and run back to the halfway line. That's how I felt. That mentality is like, right, we scored, right, now let's get back, let's get the winner now, you know. And everyone around was cheering and jumping around. I remember just sort of standing there looking over, like saying, "Come on, get on with it now. Let's go again." So I was worried, especially with Ben there as well with his bad run. Do you know what I mean? So being 1-0 down, I wasn't feeling very optimistic. So it was more like a relief when we scored that goal. And of course, getting the second one, I definitely celebrated then because obviously it's what we needed. It's the most important thing, you know.
Brilliant.
Before we dissect this, guys, I'm going to start with yourself, Disco, in a second. I just want to bring up a message here, which is lovely. So this is from Ron. So it's Brenda Haynes is the actual the handle there. So Ron says first post on here, but been watching for some time. Have supported Mill for over 70 years and a season ticket holder for nearly 50 years. Love the program, and that's from Ron. Ron, mate, you're an absolute legend. I bet you got some stories from over the years. You know, almost as old as Disco Steve there, but you know. Mate, all I'll say is that I'm glad you're with us. Stay with us, and you know we do really appreciate you watch us every week, and all the best. And let's hope that this year is a repeat of 87 season. We get back to the promised land. I was about 10 years old Ron, when that happened, so let's hope we can happen again for the younger audience that haven't experienced the top flight yet. So cheers for that, Ron. So Disco, just like yourself, let's get to it. I mean, let's be honest. It was a bit of the Bazza show, wasn't it? Barry Bannan, his homecoming, came back to Sheffield Wednesday, an opportunity to see the home fans, give them a proper sort of wave off and goodbye. What did you make of all that? I mean, was it over the top or fully justified in your opinion? And what did you make of this performance, especially playing in that number 10 role?
Well, I'm going to blame Stato because he influenced me last week when I think I started by saying I didn't think he should play because of the whole circus that would surround it. But Stato convinced me that, look, as a pro, as an employee of the club, he should play. And actually, all jokes aside, I think deep down, you're right, Stephen. I think there was information came out that Alex had a good chat with him and he'd said his head was right to play and blah, 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 blah. And I think, look, I think it was right from a professional point of view. He should have been starting, or certainly not letting the fact that he was going back to Sheffield Wednesday dictate whether he started or not. Could Alex have done it differently and not started him, and would that have affected us differently? Possibly. Who knows? I'm probably a bit different to a lot of people. I don't think he was as bad as a lot was saying he was. He did give the ball away, particularly once. Do you remember the one where he passed it back to their player and they went straight off on a break? And it was like, fuck me.
You can imagine my face at that point when that happens. I'm looking over at Ben thinking,
absolutely, Ben,
this is you, mate. This is your fault. Yeah,
we're all doomed, Captain Manning. So look, I'm not saying he had a brilliant game, but one thing I'll give him, I just think the guy has got quality. You can tell. I don't feel nervous whenever he gets the ball passed to him. You just feel comfortable. He's going to put it under control and he's going to lay it off, usually to somebody's feet or the right pace on the ball or just in front of them, which he did do several times. Simple stuff, but really effective. Not one of these. Look, and the point of the number 10 role, Joe, I know everybody's saying it's not working. It's 2 games. Do we persevere with it? I wouldn't have a problem if we did, because I think there's something there. Don't know whether you will have noticed, there was a couple of times where Casper passed it into his feet in the middle of the park, which we weren't doing previously. And then he laid it out wide, and I think we created a chance from it.
Mixed up a little bit more,
I think we're getting used to it. Look, is it his best position? No, I think I would rather him be deeper. But I think, would I want to drop Casper or Billy? Certainly not Billy right now. And I wouldn't want to drop Casper either. I think he's getting better and stronger as we go on. So I think, look, it's something we probably need to persevere with. I don't think it's his best position as a 10. You know my feelings, this whole bloody 10 role. I would scrap it and just say we have 3 midfielders and one of them bombs on and they can alternate that if they so wish. But look, if he's going to play... Alex is referencing the 10 role, isn't he? A few times mentioning that he's playing in that role. So I don't have a problem with it. I think the guy oozes quality on the ball. And I think we're a better team because of that, personally.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying there, Disco. Really do appreciate it. And then come to his next Stato. Would you make did it work in your opinion? I mean, he didn't really get enough touches of the ball. I thought he probably didn't impose himself enough. But did you see any hope there that it could work for Barry going forward, or are you against the idea altogether? I mean, yeah, people gave Bannan Williams a lot of stick, didn't they, when he played that role for about 5 or 6 games? And I think he had a similar sort of issue, similar problem. If anything, at least we're trying to play the ball through the middle, as Disco said, a couple of balls from Casper through the middle, which we weren't doing when Bannan Williams was playing. But is that role a bit of a poison chalice, in your opinion, or is it just getting the right person? Are we kind of trying to fit square pegs in round holes, is what I'm saying?
First of all, thanks to Steve for throwing me under the bus with the selection of Barry Bannan. I didn't forget that. Look, what I would say before we talk about how he played, there's been a lot mentioned about the fact that Bannan, it was the Bannan show. He took pictures with the fans and signed autographs, things like that. If that was Neil Harris back in the day, coming back to Millwall and playing at Millwall, he'd have done exactly the same thing. Because the fans would have wanted to have pictures taken with him. They would have wanted to get autographs. It would have happened. I actually fact-checked it. Harris did play against us twice, but we were away from home both times. But I would imagine that people did still. There's always people that get there early. They would want him to sign something or a picture because of who he is. So I had no issue with that with Bannan. I stood by and I still stand by that. I think it was the right call to play Bannan, to start him. We won the previous game. Why would you change a winning team? It was the same as Crocombe, which I'm sure we'll come on to a little bit later on as well. But unfortunately, he just didn't really contribute that much, and he had the moment, the back pass. We just not using him in the right way. I think Saturday will be another test of this. That Sheffield Wednesday, they tried to get forward, but their main threat was from a long throw and knocking the ball long. They hardly played football and cut us open, really. So you're looking at a team that there were spells where at 0-0 where they had all 11 behind the ball. They were making it very difficult. Cooper and if you watched it, Joe, you were there. Cooper and Taylor were so far forward inside the Sheffield Wednesday half that but Bannan sort of, it just didn't really work. You need him being a little bit deeper and trying to dictate the play rather than those guys in that position. I think. I certainly think it's impacted Negley by putting Negley out on the left rather than central. I think it has impacted him slightly. He still works hard, but I just don't think he's effective in that position. So it is a little bit trying to compensate for Bannan. I think, like I say, I don't think it was the wrong call. He just didn't do enough. And there'll be games where we might need him with that experience or to unlock a defence. Or if you're playing against a better team, a little bit of composure, hold on to the ball, pick a pass. But the game on Saturday, not because it was Sheffield Wednesday, but perhaps didn't suit him, certainly first half, because we just needed to be a little bit better in the final third. I think the build-up play was okay. As Steve said, I think certainly there's quality there. There's a player that certainly, he's always been very, very good. Do I think he's a number 10? No. But I think you can't really drop Casper and Billy. There's been message in the chat. Billy was superb. He was absolutely brilliant. Casper, probably not his best game, but let's face it, he's had enough good games to give him a little bit of credit in the bank. But in terms for me, Bannan, it didn't bother me, the Bannan show. I would have expected it. As I say, Harris would have got the same thing if it was us a few years ago. And ultimately, we're trying to get him in the team. And some days it's going to work. And days like Saturday, it just didn't.
Yeah, no, very, very well put there, Stato. Cheers for that, mate. And then just get your final thoughts on the Barry Bannan situation. I mean, did it work? I kind of know the answers to that a little bit, but I just want to get your thoughts on not just how or why it didn't work, but what's the alternative? If first of all, let's get your thoughts on Barry Bannan's performance and what would you do differently, say for Portsmouth.
I don't know if I would do anything different. I thought he was all right. I said it at the show last week, I would probably not have started him in terms of avoiding the whole distraction about him and him just having left Sheffield Wednesday 2 weeks ago, etc. So I'm not saying it was the wrong call to play him. I'm just saying I probably wouldn't personally to sort of avoid this. I don't think he was terrible, but I think subconsciously he was probably more affected by the game than he realized. Somehow, that's just how I felt looking at the game from the couch and looking at the telly. To say that it didn't work was probably also down to the fact that Sheffield Wednesday congested the whole park a lot. You know, when we went down the flanks, there was so much space for, especially Assis first half, and Kramer was bombing on as well. And I think what Assis needs to probably do in his game is probably play Kramer in a bit more. It's becoming too predictable in terms of him trying to go around the guy all the time. You know, what I'm saying is that they congested the space a lot, and then we used the flanks. So basically, there was no space for Bannan to operate in, which is fair enough. You know, you needed to be probably prime Iniesta or Messi to navigate in that phone box in there. So, you know, he was close down, and they know how good a player he is if they give him a sniff and give him 1 or 2 yards. So, yeah, I still think there's a place for him in that position. And then, as Disco said, you know, he's played 2 games. You know, let's give him a chance. You know, let's see after 4, 5, 6 games, you know, where we are and how it's working out. And his teammates have to get used to him as well. So, of course, we wanted this to be a quick thing because we're heading into the last 14 games. But I can only imagine we're going to set up in the same formation going into Saturday against Portsmouth, who will probably also be, you know, 2 banks sitting in front of their goalkeeper, which we need to break down. So let's see. I think he did all right considering the circumstances. So it's always a tough one in hindsight to say would it have been better not starting him. Who knows?
Cheers, guys. I really do appreciate your thoughts. My final say on that is, for me, I want to see him playing in a deep line midfield position. That's where he played for Sheffield Wednesday for how many years. That's where he's made a name for himself. That's where he's created so many chances for his teammates. You know, while we're playing out of position, I don't quite get it or understand it. Now, I do realise that if we do play him in that double pivot alongside, say, Billy or Casper, it does mean we're going to sacrifice Billy or Casper. But I think against the right opposition, that's where we play him. So, for example, Portsmouth at home on Saturday, we're playing against a team that are going to get behind the ball, make life hard for us. Well, you then bring in, you know, Bazza alongside a Billy or a Casper, and maybe put the other one on the bench. If we're playing against Hull away or Ipswich away, all these tough games, Middlesbrough away, which will be coming up shortly, then perhaps you start with Billy and Casper. And you have Bazza on the bench. If we go 1-0 down in the 70th minute, we could then bring him on to try and create something to make something happen. You can roll the dice then, can't you? But I think what it does, it just alternates our squad a little bit. It rotates our midfielders. So we're not relying on Billy and Casper doing 90 minutes every week. We're resting them in between, and we're playing the right midfield against the right opposition. That's how I would do it. And just going to go to a few comments here that we've seen here. So Carl Bracer said, he's useless as number 10. Negley is our number 10. Thanks for putting it so diplomatically, Carl. And and also Anthony says here as well, keep Negley in the 10 role. And I agree. For me, the best person I've seen playing the 10, other than Smallbone, is Negley. That's where we're getting all the reviews. That's where everyone's been praising him to how well he's been playing. And even against Sheffield Wednesday, there was a moment when he picks up the ball in the centre on a break, when he lays the ball off to Ivanovic, but Ivanovic doesn't quite give the ball back to him, whatever. Yeah. But just that run by Negley, the way he drove through and the weight of that pass, he's done that so many times. The way he connects the midfield with attack is so impressive. And he can run, dribble the ball. He's not particularly the fastest, but he's got the ability to turn and go. And for me, that's where I'll play Negley as our number 10 and probably put Watson on the left. But we'll discuss that in a minute.
But Joe, can I just... And there's a lot of love there for Negley as a 10 as well. Yeah. It's a game of opinions. I'm not going to slag anybody off, 100% not. But I don't see it with Negley either as a 10, really. A bit like you say, a bit, no. Look, apart from the ball at Watford, I thought that was superb. A proper sort of 10, you know, attacking midfielder, ball through to Coburn to score a great goal. Is he a bit like Bannan? Again, another one who, if he's playing central, looks a bit better deeper and playing deeper and coming onto the ball and bringing the ball forward like you've just said. But in the end, we're going to have fucking 4 defenders and 4 bloody deep midfielders coming forward. You know, it just seems... I don't think we've got a natural 10, as we call it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see it. I don't see it.
I think what Negley gives us is different from what any other player gives us. I mean, Alex Neil mentions that he's the highest when it comes to sprinting stats. He's a very, very fit lad. He tracks back. He runs the channels. Even from a number 10, you've seen him. He'll work the channels. He'll get ahead of people. He'll try and make things happen. And he's very good at setting the press as well. So for me, that'd be my preference.
Joe,
whether Alex Neil sees that, I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
Just on that, we're also in a spell of games at the moment where we're playing Saturday. So the players have got time to recover. We can keep putting out the same team. Obviously, previously we were forced to play the same team because we didn't have anybody else and they were looking tired. At the minute, we're only playing Saturday. That's going to change, obviously, with the midweek next week, and we're going to have other midweek games. You've got Easter. That's when you'll see squad rotation. That's when Alex Neil will pick and choose when Barry Bannan plays in the 10, when Barry Bannan plays deep line centre mid, when Negley plays left, if Watson comes in. I think there's all those factors that come into it. I think we take for granted sometimes that, and I've said this in the past, professional footballers should be able to play football, but we don't know how much it actually does take out of them. We don't know what injuries they've got. We don't know how their bodies cope. So I think there's certainly that argument. And I also think, I must admit, it looks like me and Steve are having a bit of a battle this evening, but I think Camille Negley he's got all the attributes to be a very, very good number 10. I think he's if you watch him on the ball, his close control and his passing is a lot better than what you might think it is. When you see the best of it, it looks really, really good. And I think you've got to feed him out wide. He'll run and he'll track back, but I don't think he's capable of necessarily going past players like Aziz does, but centrally, I think he's able to get a shot away, find a pass, find a little through ball, and I think that's really where we need to be seeing him.
Don't misunderstand me. I get he's got the attributes to be a good number 10. I don't see that he has been a good number 10 when he's played there yet. Good enough. And I'll give one example. Saturday, I was furious with him. First half, we had an attack on the right hand side, and Aziz, as usual, was putting a cross in. He was in the centre of the goal, on the edge of the area. Negley, he wasn't even looking at him. He was not even looking at the ball. And I'm pretty sure the ball come across to him. He wasn't even looking at it. He was miles away. And I thought, how are you engaged in the game there? I was furious. And you'll remember Bannan did similar, and he was going bananas because he wanted the ball passing to him. And he put it near post to Coburn instead, and we missed the chance.
I think that's
look. There's work in progress for me, Negley.
Guys, I've got a special guest coming through. I'll be keeping this person out there waiting for a little while. So I'm going to introduce our special guest tonight. It's the one and only Bex. How you doing?
Didn't work.
I'm good, thank you. Sorry for the late.
How are you? Okay.
I'm fine. You okay? How's everybody?
Yeah, good. I just admire Anthony's comment there. Cheers to that, Anthony.
You're the most effective number 10.
That's where I should play in the 10. And his wife knows her football. Honestly, I've seen her. So she's been.
I don't think
Joe.
I don't think position, Joe.
No, I don't think it's a football position or reference either, Joe. I think that's gone over your head, mate. No.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think
how are you, Bex? You good?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. You okay?
Yeah, good. We're just ending off the Barry Bannan Bazza conversation topic. I mean, what did you make of his performance? And is he kind of wasted a little bit at number 10 role, in your opinion?
I didn't think he done that great personally. At times, I thought he was still playing for the other team.
Well, he almost set him up, didn't he, with a goal?
Yeah, he gave him a good ball, to be fair. Do you know, I'm slowly warming to him. I think that he isn't, I don't personally think he's a number 10. I think that we've kind of put him in that 10 and we're working around, which doesn't make me feel comfortable, the fact that we're doing that, to be honest with you. I think he's going to either sit in either Casper or Billy's, but to be fair, they're both doing really well. So yeah, I'm not feeling him at the minute. Sorry, my phone's still on. I'm not feeling him at the minute.
Was a 10 eye. Ding, dong, dong.
I think we're all in agreement there with yourself, Bex, at the moment. So hopefully, I mean, just to mention, there's only been a couple of games, so who knows? It could work out, But if it doesn't work out this Saturday, I think Alex Neil needs to sort of like change the system or change the player formation or something to kind of suit Barry Bannan, I feel,
But Joe, can I just comment on that? Because there was an article with Casper here, I think it was the other week, where he mentions about Bannan being played in this 10 role and how they have to get used to try and find him. To me, that sounds as if they have not tried to play this way with whoever has played in the 10 before. It's always been around the flanks, right side, left side.
But why
which
is that?
Surprises? Yeah, exactly. That's what was going to be my question to you. That surprises me a bit, because we do see RBW, Negley, Smallbone as these type of players, creative players who can play in the center of the park in this 10 position, if you want to call it. So why is it that only now we want to try and use the number 10 as another outlet instead of only using the flanks? That was something that really surprised me, I have to say, because we do have, as we say, players with ability enough to play in that position.
Do you know what that is, though, for me? Sorry, Joe. Do you know what that is for me? And this is going to sound really odd, but it makes sense that everybody knows, realistically, our two best players in terms of creativity are probably Alfie Doughty and Femi Aziz. They're the two that they've got the most assists between them. I think both of them have got 4. Maybe Doughty's got 5. I'm not sure. And one plays on one side, one plays on the other. Okay, left back, not a left winger. And I just think everybody, Sheffield Wednesday, the podcast, they were doing a piece on our right hand side. Everybody in the Football League knows that Millwall's right hand side is where we're most dangerous. All the time we look for Aziz. As I think Jesper, you said it earlier, we're predictable because Aziz tries to go past people, and he has been very successful at it. But it's almost kind of, we're almost saying now, can we use Bannan? Can we find a different way of creating a goal rather than just rely? Because if someone put in the chat, if Aziz and Doughty have a bad game, we're struggling for creativity. There's no, and as bonkers as that sounds, that's when you need to have the option of a Bannan or whoever's going to play in the 10. They have to step up when those guys are not playing very well. But at the moment, all we've been drilled to do is put your head up, get the ball out to Aziz, or get the ball out to Doughty and let them do something. And maybe Watson, we'll come on to Watson, another one that we'll be looking to. So we've got a threat on both sides, but our midfielders have been drilled to pick the ball up and put it out wide. That's very, where we've got to get better.
But going by Jesper's comment there, Disco, Casper came out, didn't he? Casper Noy talked about the importance of playing through the middle, and he was very open, saying, "Look, we tend to get the ball and we play it wide every single time, but now we are, looking to play through the lines, play it through the middle." But again, to Jesper's point, why did they do it before when Bangura Williams was playing there? Is it lack of trust? Is it because he's a young player? I don't know what it is.
Look, it could be a little bit of that. It could be the fact that they weren't drilled to play that system, that they just continued playing as they were. And then poor old Reece Bangura is in the middle, sort of running around in circles, doing nothing, which sadly was the case. The only difference was Bannan is getting himself involved, isn't he? And demanding the ball. Did Reece do that enough? And I'm not criticising him. Difficult situation. That's what I say. It doesn't come naturally to us, this bloody 10 role, does it? It's a difficult one. But you're right, Joe. There's no two ways about it. RBW could play that role without a shadow of a doubt. So it's a bit disappointing that
but they have to use him. They have to play that.
Correct. Trust is a really good word, Joe, isn't it? You can argue you need to earn that trust, but they all say technically he's one of the best on the training field. So
good point.
Look, I like the fact at the minute we've a lot of players now who technically are really good on the ball, and that puts you at ease a lot more, doesn't it? Watching the games,
Definitely, completely agree. Guys, we want to move away from Barry Bannan because I feel we could probably be on here to the end of the show. There's lots to talk about. So, Bex, before we got back into the game second half and equalised or whatever, there was a bit of a scary moment. We went 1-0 down, didn't we? And a lot of that was down to, unfortunately, the mistake by Max Crocombe, of course, fumbling the chance to allow Lowe to come in, hit the rebound, and score. What did you make of that error? Is that enough, in your opinion, to say, right, that's it? You know what? Unfortunately, this is the mistake we're waiting for, and now Anthony Patterson comes in and takes your spot, or do you persevere with Max?
So I thought it was disappointing, the goal, to be fair. I feel like he should have had it. But when I keep looking at it, I thought, was it because it was Low? Was he kind of distracted by other players? But again, it was an easy ball that he should have, I guess, simple.
Well, to Angelo's point, And guys, you don't seen Anjo's analysis. Yeah, he talked about the chance of that shot. It was about 30, 40 yards out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was going top bins or something. You know, it was I'm not calling it, also it's a P roller, but you see that ball coming, and any keeper in the championship should hold that ball quite comfortably, shouldn't they, without spinning it?
Yeah. And I think obviously as soon as that went in, I think it just went a bit crazy. That's it. Max out. But I kind of really still sit that I think we should stand by him. And it's just my personal opinion in the fact that we've had so much change. Yes, he's made these few mistakes, but Patterson, he's been injured. We haven't seen him played for a little bit. There's no saying that he's not going to come in and make these mistakes. And can we afford for that to happen? That's kind of how I see it. And I just think Max has got us to where we are. Yes, he's let some goals in. Yes, he's made these tiny mistakes, but any goalie could make them mistakes, whatever the level, Premiership level, Championship level, lower league. Do we punish him for that and kind of bring in somebody else because he let one goal in? I feel for me that I'm happy to stick with Max for the time being, just purely on the fact that we're just making another change because someone made a small error.
Interesting. Guys, I'm going to ask you all the same question. Before I do that, guys, in the chat, just make sure you're not fall asleep, that you're with us still. Number 1 for Max on Saturday, number 2 for Patterson. Be interesting what you guys think in the chats. Number 1 for Max, number 2 for Patterson. Jesper, coming to yourself next. What did you make of that error? And is it enough, in your opinion, to say, you know what, we need a change now?
I think objectively, if you aren't just a Millwall supporter, it's a poor mistake. You know, if you want to catch a ball, you need to make sure that you catch the ball. You know, otherwise you need to deflect it out for a corner or do something else than what he did. And he allowed Tolo to slip in and score, and it could have cost us 3 points. So I feel for him, but again, it was a poor decision making in my opinion. Is it enough to drop him? We talk about it almost every week. You know, he's been a decent servant and he's been quite reliable, although he's had his moments where we thought, you know, he looked a bit nervy, etc. I just think on a personal level that Patterson has been brought in for the run-in, and Alex has maybe taken a few weeks to just look at him and see where is he fitness-wise, and before actually putting him in between the sticks. So I think personally he will start on Saturday, and not just because of the error. I just think that we are not bringing in an expensive goalkeeper from Sunderland to sit on the bench for 16 games and then he goes back up north. I just can't see it. So whether he deserves it or not, it's tough for me to answer. I just think that he will not be in goal on Saturday.
Who would you pick out your team?
I think I would play Patterson. I think he will give us the best opportunities in terms of getting to the highest position in the table.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one vote from Bex for Max, one vote for Patterson for Jesper. And guys in the chat, I saw loads of 2s coming through, and I saw loads of 1s in there as well. Even Mummy Main put a 1 in there for Max. So
you're actually writing this down, Joe.
I'm not. That's Dano's job. I'm hoping Sal will give us the result at the very, very end. Disco. You heard what Beck said. You heard what Jesper said. Are you in agreement with them both? I mean, in some ways, I admire Alex Neil's management when he said, before Wrexham, you know what? Max ain't put a foot wrong. I'm going to give him the opportunity to play in goal. And he played really well. Got a clean sheet as well. Made some great saves. And you could call it and say, that's a great decision from Alex Neil. But can we overlook the error against Sheffield Wednesday? Or is that what Alex Neil's looking for to justify the change, in your opinion?
Listen, it's a really, really tough one. I'm going to stick with what I've said previously, which when the transfer window was on, I felt we needed a number 1 keeper coming in. We got that. I had no problem with Max staying in goal for Wrexham and putting in a great display. I think we said on here, much as it's good competition, it's putting either one under huge pressure now, because one mistake, you're under the spotlight. And I think Bex is right that, hang on, one big mistake and you're dropped. We're all saying drop him. Is that right? However, it was a big mistake, and it's been said by several people in the chat here. against a better team, that could have proved really costly. And without going around the houses too much, what I would say is I think Max has been fantastic for us, and his stats back it up. Look, he's won us more points than he's lost us points. I just feel what happened Saturday, with the greatest respect to Max, he's got that in his locker. And I felt a bit guilty Saturday because the minute he did that, I was on our group and I think I said bloody Max, or words to that effect, probably a bit ruder. And in my head, I was thinking, I could see that coming, and I can see that coming again. So for that reason, you're right, Bex. Any keeper, any level can and will make mistakes, and Patterson could come in on Saturday and make a howler. But I just feel, sadly, Max has got that in his locker, more potentially to happen than probably somebody of Patterson's quality. So for me, it's a Patterson vote. Really shame it's got to happen the way it's happening now. In a way, it would have been even more difficult, but had Max had a decent game Saturday and then he makes the change, you'd be bloody hell, that's a bit unfair. But he's not got that hanging over him. But I think it does give him the option to bring him in. And I think that Jesper said it. You haven't brought in a keeper from a Premiership team with his background to sit on the bench. It's just not happening. So whether it's Saturday is debatable, but he will eventually be number one for the run in my mind.
Cheers for that, Disco, and really do appreciate it. So that's 2 votes for Patterson from our panel, 1 vote for Max. Stato, are you going to bring this to extra time, or are you going to give a vote to Patterson, give it a 3-1 win? What's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, the score was 13-10 in favour of the Twos.
13-10.
Yeah, in favour of
Patterson. That's a lot closer than what I thought it would be.
I'm gonna 3 points I'm gonna make on Max Crocombe and the situation and everything. The first one, you got to remember, he didn't have a club at the end of last season, and was brought in to essentially ultimately become the number 3 goalkeeper at Millwall, because they thought that Bender was going to work out. Jensen was supposed to become available, who I will come back to in a second, and Crocombe would have been 3rd choice playing in the 21s like Joel Coleman was today. So that's the first thing that you've got to remember, that he wasn't brought in to be playing. By sheer luck and the fact that Stephen Bender was rubbish, that he obviously got his opportunity. The second point I would make is that had Lucas Jensen not had another injury, there would have been no debate, there would have been no discussion. Lucas Jensen would have been the number 1. He would have been brought back in and he would have been playing. We wouldn't have been talking about how well Max Crocombe has played, because our first choice goalkeeper would have been playing. So that again, and again, people forget that. I think Lucas Jensen's probably missed one of the best seasons of what it could have been his career, because of the nature of Millwall having a good season. So I think, again, that's another point. And the last one, and this is probably the least of the 3, but it's important for the running. Teams would have looked at that on Saturday and would be going, right, shoot on sight and test him, because teams used to do it to Jordan Archer. As soon as they worked out that he was absolutely useless from distance, everyone started to shoot from distance.
Max useless from distance? I mean, I can
not useless. But what I'm saying is that he's made a mistake against the team that's bottom of the league. If you've got players, for example, Gustavo Hamer at Sheffield United, he's going to ping it in the top corner. There's players out there that have got better quality that would really test Crocombe, and I think that would be something that people would look at.
Because was it Brooks for Sheffield United? He scored from outside the box in his bottom corner. He didn't get anywhere near it. There was a chance when I think the score when Portsmouth scored at their ground from distance from their left back.
3 goals.
Yeah. So maybe that is his Achilles heel a little bit. Maybe that's his weak link. You know, who knows?
Look, I think Max Crocombe has done excellent. He's given himself the best opportunity personally to get into the New Zealand team for the World Cup. He's going to go to the World Cup regardless, and Millwall have given him that opportunity. He's gone from, as I say, I think it was Burton he was playing, not He didn't have a club. He's come from nowhere to be playing in a team that's third in the Championship, going for the playoffs. So his career, and just for argument's sake, Mill will get promoted to the Premier League. Max Crocom's not going to play in the league, but he's going to have a hell of a lot of suitors that are going to come in for him, because he's going to turn around and go, well, I'll play 20 games or 25 games in a team that did get promoted. So it's not all, it's not all bad. However, I said it, we've all said it, that in the January transfer window, if we looked at our 11, and I've got a piece that I want to come back to, Joe, if I may, on our starting 11, but if you looked at our 11 in January, the weakest position was the goalkeeper. As much as you don't want to be harsh on Max, he was the weakest position in the team, and we rectified it by buying or loaning someone who got out of this league as a playoff winner, and he's a Premier League goalkeeper. Whether or not he's played that much,
one of the best goalkeepers last season in the Championship, wasn't
yes,
he? Yeah.
Exactly. And unfortunately, I think Max, we've got to a position where it was one mistake, and Alex Neil had the opportunity to drop him, and I think he will now take that chance and get Patterson in the team. That's just how I see it.
I agree. And John says there, Oxford did it to him as well, so he is definitely a little bit inconsistent. Sorry, Disco, go on, mate.
No, can I just say on the back of what Stephen said there, and you're right, Stephen, really good point, actually. Look, no matter how good people think Max is, or how unfair it would be to drop him on a bad mistake and arguably a few errors in recent games, in my mind and a lot of people's minds, how did he get the #1 jersey in the first place?
Max Crocombe? Through injury.
Mistakes. And mistakes from Bender, wasn't it?
But particularly Bender's form, wasn't it? It was poor.
Yeah, that's right.
Not bad. So forget being harsh. If you're not on form and we can do better, we need to.
Right.
We have to
and that was on the back, Disco. That was on the back of the game against Coventry, I think, away in the cup, wasn't it? At home, when he played really well in that game.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like Alex Neil had more faith in him. I think he played a couple of cup games.
As I did, we all did.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
Max is a good keeper. This is potentially an upgrade in my mind.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, I agree.
And this is also about our season. We're not Millwall Football Club, and Max Crocombe gets to play whenever he wants. We are Millwall Football Club going for the Premier League. If we have a better goalkeeper on the bench, in the manager's opinion, then unfortunately, I think Patterson has to play. I agree with some of the comments that Max, he hasn't really done an awful lot wrong, and he hasn't, and I will stand by that. But you have to improve. We've improved all over the pitch. I wouldn't want to swap any of our back four at the moment for anybody in the Championship, and I genuinely mean that. As a unit, they're excellent. Femi Aziz, I wouldn't want to swap any other right wing. Okay, you could argue that there might be better gifted players, but unfortunately, he was the position. And you take your opportunities. On Saturday, you would have banked needing a goal. You would have banked on Alex Neil making the change and bringing on Mihajlo Ivanovic. And what did he do? He brought on Macaulay Langstaff and he got him a goal. So it is about taking your opportunities, and Max has done that. However, I think we have better moving forward, and I think that's how Neil and I think, unfortunately, Max has to accept that he wasn't. If as I say, if Lucas Jensen didn't get re-injured, we wouldn't be having this debate, because Jensen would have come back in. How good he would have been is another matter. I don't know, but he would have been in, and no discussion.
I've heard fans, on X and talking about it and stuff, and on Facebook about this goalkeeper, and a lot of fans are in support of Max. And then, you can't take him out. What's going to do to his confidence? It's going to destroy him. And I'll make a point of saying, well, look, if any player outfields, making mistakes and not performing, you have no hesitation in dropping that player. As Bala wasn't performing, he's out of the team. Someone else comes in, and it makes no difference to the goalkeeper situation. For me, if you're not performing to the best of your ability, and you've got another player there that's going to take your position, then that person takes the position, and it's that person's position to lose. So if Patterson comes in, does brilliantly, fantastic. If he messes up, then you know what, Max, you're back in again. I think you've got to play your strongest team, don't you?
Look at Alfie Doughty's got Zach Sturge breathing down his neck. Yeah. The midfielders have got Derek, who's back fit, breathing down their neck. Bannan is breathing down their neck. Watson is breathing down the neck of the left mid. Right. There's a couple of positions right back and right mid that we might not necessarily have as good as options, but there are players breathing down. Ivanovic and Langstaff will be breathing down Coburn's neck because he had the shirt on Saturday.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
No different. It's no different.
And the only reason why he started, Alex Neil's words were, because he had a great game against Wrexham. He loved the way Coburn played against Wrexham, so he started Coburn against Sheffield Wednesday. Now, you could argue that he had a couple of chances he should have done better with. Well, does that mean that Ivanovic starts on Saturday or does Langstaff start? So it's all about competition at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what
I want to see. So, by what you're saying, I'm guessing you're going with Patterson.
What's your answer, Stato?
Patterson.
Patterson, you're going for Patterson. I'm going for Patterson as well. So it's 4-1 to Patterson.
4-1.
I'll go home.
Sorry,
I'll leave.
Sorry, Bex.
So, there you go. Let's move on, guys. So, Jesper, start with yourself this time. The subs that changed the game. Toy Watson comes on. Macaulay Langstaff comes on. Toy Watson gets an assist of a goal, if you like, from the shot there. And Macaulay Langstaff looked quite lively. And of course, he scored this freakish goal. What did you make of Watson, first of all? I'll get your thoughts on Watson and then also Langstaff. So start with Watson first.
We said it many times with the player who used to play in that position, who's no longer with us anymore. Output. That's what I want to see from our wingers. When he gets the ball from Cooper, it's an excellent first touch and it's a brilliant ball across goal. Whether it's a shot or whether it's a pass, I'm not sure, but he hits it with so much power that he doesn't really give the defender any choice but to put it in the back of his own net. So it was a brilliant moment. Besides that, I don't think he really was as effective, maybe as he was at the Wrexham game, where I thought he had some decent touches. But he gives us what we needed, and that was a goal at a crucial time where we were quite struggling to create much in the game. So brilliant impact, great for his confidence. I'm sure we will see a lot more to him in the run-in as well. So yeah, great sub, great impact. That's what I want to see.
Good. And Langstaff?
Yeah, I mean, he must have seen your goal 5 or 20 times being on the show here, the way he stumbled into the ball and it found it.
Stumble? It's timing, isn't it? You know? Yeah.
I mean, I've watched the goal back 5 or 7 times. I can't even see how he did it. You know, he said it in the interview, he wanted to go with his left, and then he must have stumbled or something, and then he hits his right foot. It looks crazy from all different angles, but yeah, it's a great ball in. It's where you want your wingers to put the balls in, and he gets into a good position, and that's the most important. We go 2-1 up, and I'm so happy for him. You know, he works his socks off, and he gives everything for the club, despite that many people think he's not good enough and he doesn't belong at this level, etc., etc. So full credit to him. He's done it a few times now this season. I still think he's the third in the pecking order, but you know, it's good to have competition, and he brings something different that the other 2 strikers doesn't.
Yeah, interesting point there for yourself, Jesper. And I come to yourself, Disco. Just what did you make on the substitutes with regards to Toy Watson and Macaulay Langstaff? I'd be interested to get your thoughts on both of them.
Well, look, both obviously made a great impact, simple as that. Look, I can't deny when I saw Langstaff again, I think I put in the group some expletive that, bloody hell, how the hell's he bringing on Langstaff? He just was crying out for Ivanovic to come on. But look, fair play to Alex. Is it fair
to say, Disco, that Alex Neil's a bit of a fan of Langstaff? He does seem to...
Oh, I thought he was going to say fan of me. I said, well, I don't know.
and you, of course. That goes without saying, doesn't it, of course? You know, we're all fans of you, Disco. But no,
yes, it certainly seems that way, doesn't it? And I think, look, when you look back, what did we lack in that game? A bit of energy, didn't we? Especially at the top end of the pitch. So I think he thought, look, I want to put him on there and make himself busy, put him under pressure, and maybe create something.
Do you know what was interesting, Disco? Sorry to interrupt you there. He mentioned Langstaff afterwards that Alex Neil told him to go out there, be a nuisance, get yourself a goal. And he made a point of saying in the past he's played as a number 10 sometimes, which, let's be honest, when we didn't sign him to be a number 10, did we? We signed him because of his goals. And what he did in that game at Sheffield Wednesday, he played on the shoulder a little bit, and he was there sniffing out chances where, for me, that's where I want to see Langstaff playing. That's what I thought we were getting from him. So he's going to play in around that 6-yard box, be a poacher, nick little goals here and there or whatever, and be a bit of a nuisance in that area. And it seemed like that suits him really well, didn't it?
Yeah, spot on. Listen, watch for anybody watching who hasn't done so. Watch Angelo's analysis. His movement to get to the chance was fantastic. Proper fox in the box.
It was.
Attacking play from a quality attacker. Look, was he lucky? I couldn't believe it. It looked like he fell over the ball. And he said himself, I went to go with me left, then I went with me right, and I ended up going over. But let's be clear, what was his one aim there? Was to
copy my goal at the end.
Was to copy your stumble and score a goal. Absolutely.
That's it, exactly. But he said actually after the game, I'm sure I heard this or whether I dreamt it. He said, I watched Joe Zampa's goal at the den and I tried to recreate it in my head and I just couldn't quite get my feet right because Zampa went with his left foot. I didn't quite trust my left foot, so I went with my right foot. That's what he said, didn't he?
Visualised it.
Yeah.
I've been practicing in training, man. He's got a weird accent, isn't he, bless him? But look, however weird it looked and however awkward, lucky, whatever, fair play to him. What was his one aim? To get in a scoring position and get his foot on the end of the ball and put it towards the goal. He did there and scored a cracking winning goal. So bloody fantastic. Absolutely delighted for him. That's 3 goals now. To win games from 9 points, massive, or 8, what was it, 6 extra points, fantastic. Look, Watson for me, I agree with Jesper. I haven't seen a lot of him yet, really, but he does seem to ooze class, doesn't he? He looks like the real deal, and I can't wait to see a lot more of him. And it was a great movement and cross for the goal. Look, a lot saying the defender should have left it. How'd you leave that ball? He had to get something on it. And it ended up an own goal. It might have gone wide anyway, but brilliant. And really hats off to Alex making really quality substitutions at the right time.
Yeah, good point. Cheers, that Disco. Stato, just to get your thoughts on Macaulay Langstaff and Watson. Also, I want to get your thoughts on if we are going to play Langstaff, how does he fit into that starting 11? Because surely if we play him, we can't play him up top by himself. He's got to play alongside either Coburn or Ivanovic. But then does that eliminate the number 10 problem? So be interested to get your thoughts on his performance, on Watson's performance, but also where to go Langstaff going forward.
I'll start with Watson and then combine the two things on Langstaff. I think Tommy Watson, there's a lot of expectation on his shoulders. There's a lot of noise from outside the club of people going, "Oh, Millwall's." I mean, Callum was on last week, didn't he? I mean, I can't believe he managed to get him over the line.
He's more excited than we were, weren't he? About
Watson. Lots of people were. And I'll be honest with you, he scored the winning goal in the playoff. I mean, you're not going to turn that down, but he's not got the most amazing record. It's a lot of. He reminds me very similar of someone like Romain Esse. It's reputation. And he's in the England under-21s. It's that potential rather than
profile that he's built, isn't he?
It's not. He's not scored loads and loads of goals, but he's got potential. And Brighton have bought him off of the back of potential. So
£10 million and
But to back up what Jesper said. Output, that's what you want from your wingers and your forward players. And okay, we get fortunate that it's an own goal, but you've got to put the ball in the right area. Do we back a Maku? Would we have backed a Maku to have done that? I don't know. He might have, but he might not have. So I think Watson is. I think someone's just literally just put in the chat as we speak that Watson taking a little bit of pressure off of Femi, and I really think so, because once Watson does start games and we've got natural wingers both sides, we're not going to be so reliant on Aziz to be carrying us forward. Okay, he might get a little bit frustrated because he wants a little bit more of the ball, but we'll have options either side, and I think that's really, really important. On Langstaff, he just finds a way of drawing us all back in, doesn't he, Macaulay Langstaff? You sort of think, oh no, this is get rid of it. I mean, I was saying it, just get rid of it. No, get him out on loan. He's not going to work. And he just brings you back in, doesn't he? He's just likable. You can't fault him. He just works hard. He clearly just wants to play and do his bit and try and score goals. And I thought his interview was so refreshing that he just had a big smile on his face. He was probably absolutely buzzing that he scored the winner. He knows it's a big goal. Don't get me wrong. He knows it's a big goal. We all know it's a big goal. I just think he's the sort of player that you've got that probably has to accept a little bit now that he probably isn't going to start. And to answer your other question, Joe, I don't know. When he comes on with 20-25 minutes to go, he's defender's nightmare. His movement, he's in their face. He's going to work so hard when defenders get tired. And I think maybe as part of a 2, then that's when you'll see a little bit more of him. But as I say, I'll forever love him for getting the winner at Norwich. That made my season, just because my mate supports Norwich. The winning, he got the winner against Bristol City, I think it was. Big goals. And look, we talk about at the end of the season, we don't talk about performances, but you talk about match winners, and he's won 3 games. Imagine, again, I'm getting ahead of myself. You're at Wembley, it's 0-0, and Langstaff gets himself in front in that position and scores the goal. That's the sort of thing you think he'd do nothing for weeks. He'd be absolutely terrible, and then he'll come up with a good. So
important goal back,
I don't think to answer you, I don't think you can start him. You can only start him in a 2, but then that's going to cause all sorts of decisions with who's not going to play and who's not going to get in the team. And I don't think Neil wants to do that. I think he wants to play with a 10, and I think you have to go Coburn or Ivanovic and get Langstaff on if you need a goal.
I agree. And it's interesting you say with Langstaff, he does kind of pull you back in again. Like one minute you want to, you kind of want to forget about and move on, but then you kind of just draws you back in. It's like making love to a beautiful woman at disco, It's like back in
it is very much like that, Joe.
You got that bird who's like a 3 out of 10, but she's very, very good. She's very
Joe,
very
that
good.
was a very long time ago.
That was a very long time ago, before married, 4 kids.
Correct.
She was a 3 out of 10, but she's very, very good at one thing. And you always try to get rid of her. But every now and again, she's back in again, doesn't she? Hey, disco, do you remember those days?
But yeah, vaguely, yeah. Is it time to show your goal again, Joe?
So let's move on. Bex.
Disco's gone bright red. Look at him.
I'm thinking of poor old Ron watching as well, and he's older than me. He'll be bloody getting all sort of fluffed up. Dear me.
Bex, what do you make of Macaulay Langstaff and Watson coming on?
So Watson, I'm really liking what I'm seeing, to be fair. Like we've all said, we've not seen a huge amount, but I think there's potential for what we're wanting him to do. So I was quite excited with what he did produce. Macaulay, I've always been a big supporter of him. So I was very pleased. Me and Mum were watching. It was like we'd scored at Wembley, to be fair. We was well happy for him. And obviously, like you all said, like he's that one that kind of draws you in, and he does. I think he just gets onto the game, gets into the game, and he puts that effort in. And I know it's not always about that effort, but he just gets on with it. And yeah, that goal, was it fluke? Did he not score it how he was supposed to score it? But I'm made up for him, to be honest with you. I'll be happy if he just comes on as a sub every so often and gets the goals when we need them. But I think, do you know what I feel like? I feel like you do get that energy when he comes on the pitch. Like I really feel it. Sometimes
that's what the guys say as well. Yeah,
you do feel that change in tempo. He's got that fresh legs that we need, and he gets in. So yeah, I won't say what I'm always going to say about him.
No, of course not. We want to get your comments also on Watson. Sorry, Portsmouth just scored apparently.
Yeah, so, the goalkeeper, Charlton's keeper, made a howler.
Really?
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, there you go. Brilliant. And what's your thoughts, Bex, on Watson? What you saw of him?
I already said, Joe.
Sorry, you said already just now, didn't you?
I already said about him.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that bit. Sorry. Just remind me.
At the beginning, I basically just said that I was very happy with what I'd seen, and
that was it. Was it?
And agreed with everybody else. Yeah, I kept it short.
Because Tommy's not as good looking as Christian Kramer, he gets like 5 seconds, doesn't he? You notice that? And everyone else, Kramer gets like 2 minutes, and poor Tommy gets like 5 seconds.
No, look, I think he's come in, and actually, I think he's really showing huge potential.
Yeah.
And I think the change was needed at the time when he was brought on, and it was the right change. And I think going forward, whether he starts or it's another few weeks where he's just brought in as that change for the time being, I don't know. But I really feel like you could feel that impact that he made. If I was looking and going, are we going to start Ballo or Watson? I'll be going Watson. And I think probably a lot of people would at the minute be probably thinking that, to be fair. And I liked Ballo. I really rated him. But actually, I think when with what I've seen of Watson, actually, I think he's going to kind of pip everybody, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I like him.
Great. There you go. She likes him. That's all that matters. She likes him. Okay, guys. Next subject I want to talk about is I want to touch on a little bit about Callum Taylor. I mean, everyone's talking about Callum Taylor, his performances of late and how well he's been playing. I want to go around very, very quickly on this one because I'm just conscious there's 5 of us on here at the moment and there's 4 of you. We'll start off with Disco on this one. Callum Taylor coming in, and I think his first start was against Preston at home on the 8th of November. And ever since then, we seem quite assured, don't we? Everyone keeps talking about how well he's played. He's getting better and better every game, and we look a real force. Just want to ask you, how important is Callum Taylor to our back four, not just defensively, but also set pieces, attacking wise at the moment? Have you been impressed with him?
Hugely, Joe. How can you not be? You know, defensively, as you rightly say, seems to have slotted in alongside Jake brilliantly, and they seem to be bringing the best out of each other, which is excellent. And we were told could never happen. You know, they were both too big and too slow.
Yeah, very similar. They were saying, weren't they?
Yeah, but they seem to have a really good understanding, and we have looked really solid. We looked a bit jittery at times. Saturday for some reason, but I think they just lost their heads for a moment, particularly, you know, where especially when we went 1 down, as oh bloody hell, you know, we're in trouble here. But they got it back together. And look, as you say, Joe, attacking wise, he is such a threat. He just gets on the end of pretty much everything. I think it's very obvious play by us now, isn't it? Cooper takes on the 2 defenders that are sort of hanging on his shirt, he holds them on, down, and he grabs hold of them, and Taylor will get loose and get space.
And he nearly scored again, didn't he, on the weekend? But unfortunately, he headed it down, I think, or up. He bounced down and went over the bar, didn't he? I think from memory.
I was going to say that was my one disappointment. I thought that was poor, to be honest. I mean, Angelo giving because he's Angelo's fanboy at the moment.
I know. Angelo used to call him arms and legs, didn't he, when he first started playing?
Absolutely. I'll give him his due. I think the ball was dipping, so I think that's what done him. It was dipping as he was going to head it. I mean, he could have even possibly have chested it and slotted it.
He could have gone with his foot, couldn't he? Really?
Yeah, exactly. You know, but look, he was totally free there, and he'll be disappointed not to have at least got that on target. As Cooper had a free header in the second half of the same. Yeah. But look, I cannot say enough about how lucky we are to have got him in. For it was a hefty fee, and a lot were questioning him. Was it the right thing to do? Yeah. And he took his time to get him into the team. And look how well he's doing. He's like one of the first names on the sheet now, isn't he? Without a shadow of a doubt. Really good.
I bet West Brom fans will be loving him right now. Can you imagine how good they are? You know, Championship Player of the Month award is up for as well. So incredible. Cheers for that, Disco. Stato, coming to yourself next. I've got some stats for you, Stato. So I know you do like your stats. So interesting one, this one, right? So before Taylor started playing or starting games for us, our points per game was 1.91. Since he started playing for us, has our points per game gone up or down?
Well, I put something together that suggested that I think he's played 22 games for us. We've won 9, drawn 6, I believe. So by that logic, we've got 33 points from, I think although one of them would have been a cup game. I would imagine it's probably around this. I'll go it's probably maybe a little bit higher.
So 1.91 before he started that game on the 8th. After he started that on the 8th, our average is 1.67. It's actually gone down slightly. Interesting.
Probably should work that out, really.
And goals conceded again, Stato. Before he started playing for us, it was 1.18. So after we started playing from the 8th of November going forwards, has our goals conceded gone up or down?
Probably gone up.
It's slightly worse. Yeah, not huge swing, but it has gone slightly worse. But we're talking margins though, Stato, right? But one big stat, Stato, which is going to be like the big one here, the one that's going to get really, really excited. Yeah. And
we need a drum roll.
He loves a big stat.
I'm actually really pissed off at the minute because Caleb Taylor's been so good and Joe's making him sound crap.
Ready? Here we go. Goals scored since he starting games on the 8th of November. Before he started scoring, before he started playing, it was 1.14 goals scored a game. Since he started playing for us, our goals scored per game is 1.39 per game. So our goal score is back from 1.14 to 1.39 since he started playing. Can you tell me the reason why that is, Stato?
Because he's absolutely brilliant. There's no. But
what's the reason why?
What that we've scored more goals?
Yeah,
because we're using
in
his ability. He's got assists and goals.
Guys,
I don't know what you want from me.
Tell Stato why we scored more goals since Taylor's come in the back.
But
right, the way else want to answer that question, Bex, Jesper, Disco.
It's probably because he's been getting forward more and getting involved.
So who's that? Who?
I think Caleb Taylor. He's been getting forward and he's more attacking and he's getting involved.
What's our biggest reason?
Set pieces, improved at set pieces.
More chances created. Okay, here we go. There's the answer.
Because Kramer's on the right.
There you go, Nick.
He is.
Well done, Nick Schumacher. There you go. Prize for you, mate. Prize for you. Well done. So the theory is here, since he's come in the middle and Kramer's gone on the right, we are a real force on that right-hand side. With Kramer pushing forward, Aziz getting more support, attacking and stuff, we're creating a lot more chances of scoring more goals. So by Taylor coming in, what it's actually done is release Kramer to be a real force on that right-hand side, Stato. Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Well done, Joe.
Yes!
But your stats have just
Joe from now on
made Caleb Taylor look worse though as a defender. You've made him look worse. You have.
It's inconsistency.
Let me tell you.
Factors, isn't there? You know.
If Caleb Taylor was playing from the start of the season, he'd be up there in the shouts for player of the season. The fact that he come in late is gone against him. But if he continues on in the same path, he'll be in the top three. I think Aziz and Kramer will. It's basically a dogfight between the two of them, isn't it? Yeah, 100%. They're gonna. One of them's going to win it. The other one's going to come second. For me, unless something.
Who do you pick player of the season?
I think Femi Aziz. Sorry, Bex. I think Femi Aziz, because as good as Kramer's been and as consistent as Kramer has been, how good has Aziz been in winning games of football and dragging us over Sheffield Wednesday at home? Important. The goals and assists that he's got have got us in this position. Yes, Kramer's been excellent, and it's fine margins between the two. But Aziz is a difference maker. He is a difference maker in this team, and I think that's maybe another conversation for another day. But Taylor would be up there. He has been superb. The West Brom fans, I've had loads of tweets over the last month or so about them saying, PSR was a reason why they had to. Portsmouth got a penalty, by the way, I think as well in their game. But they had to sell due to PSR, but some of the, some of their fans were saying he's a donkey, he's too slow, he's this, that, and the other. Well, honestly, out of our defenders, he's the one. He's young, he's English. He is the one that has real significant chance of performing. Kramer, yes, but I think there's been a conversation. Would Kramer play right back in the Premier League? I don't know. I think he'd be better suited to centre back. Doherty is a little bit older. Again, very, very good, but I don't know how much more how much further can he progress? Do you know, if you get what I'm saying? Cooper's towards the back of his career, but Taylor is the one that literally the sky's the limit. He could play in the Premier League. He's that good, and I think we've absolutely struck gold. Someone said that we were concerned about replacing Tanganga. Well, I mean, I'm not being funny, but Tanganga was quality, but Caleb Taylor's showing that there are some very, very good centre backs out there if you're willing to look in the right places.
And probably more potential as well in the long run, really.
Yeah, injuries as well. I mean, touch wood and all that. Tanganga, you've always got the flight risk, haven't you? Taylor, there's nothing to suggest that he's got the same thing that Taylor had.
Exactly. Cheers for that, Stato. And Bex, I'll get your thoughts on Taylor. And guys in the chat as well, who would you pick as player of the season at the moment? It'd be interesting who you would pick in the chat. Bex, what do you make of Taylor and his performances?
I've been really impressed with him, to be honest with you. At the beginning, I was one of them that really doubted, why have we spent all this money on somebody and we're not playing him? And when he first come in, I was like, oh, he's a bit naff, to be honest with you. But do you know what? He's proved me wrong. And actually, I would leave him there. I wouldn't move Kramer back. I think him and Jake at the back they have been a force to be reckoned with, and I love the fact that he gets forward and he gets into that box. Yes, sometimes it leaves us a little bit short at the back, but actually it's not too long enough for him to not get back. I think he's great. I really do, and I agree with Stephen. Actually, if he was in from the beginning, then he would have a shout for player of the season, and it's exciting to see what's going to happen going forward and into the next season as to how much more he is going to progress and how much he's going to improve. Maybe West Brom fans, he just wasn't in the right team. He just hadn't found his club, and maybe he's found his club in Millwall. And it's a bit like Femi Aziz, Reading. He didn't really fit in there. He's found Millwall. We see it time and time again with players. We get told, oh, they're a bit naff. They're not the greatest, and they come to us and they thrive. We obviously have something behind in the scenes that really kind of works with these players and brings out the best in them. And I think that's what we're seeing with a lot of these players at the minute. Go on, Steve.
Can I just jump in the back of that? And I've got a question for all of you. And I'll start with Joe to go to you first, because you obviously don't always get to answer the questions. If you take the team that started on Saturday, right, replace Crocombe with Patterson, and replace Bannan with Tommy Watson, and obviously Negley would move into the 10, right? So they're the two changes. Is that potentially the best Millwall 11 we've put out in the last 10 years?
100%, yeah.
Steve?
Yeah. I'm just thinking back to the 10 years of teams. I'm just thinking past George Honeyman and...
You're going to go back 10 years, Stephen. You're asking a lot of old people here.
It's pretty...
And the Vag Slammer. Don't forget the Vag Slammer.
Oh, the Vag Slammer. Cool. Yeah. So, Steve, look at
Ollie Burke.
That. Absolutely. Bloody hell.
Jesper, do you think the same?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Bex?
Yeah, I haven't seen a team that's excited me this much in a long time, to be fair, and they excite me.
And that is off.
That's without Kramer in.
That is off the back of
football as well, Joe. She means
football, Joe.
that is off the back of, and we've all said this. That is off the back of Alfie Doughty being too fat and not good enough to cut any more back-to-back relegations. Taylor being not wanted by West Brom and being a donkey. You got Patterson not wanted by Sunderland. Jake Cooper's passed it. Billy Mitchell only passes backwards. Femi Aziz, by all our own admission, one of the worst million that we've ever spent. Comments like that were said. You look at what Bex just said. Oh, it was. But you look at what Bex just said. That we find a way of making players feel wanted and give them a role and give them responsibility. And we have created the best team we have had, and we haven't spent. You look at, I know we've spent money on, Taylor was a couple of million and Aziz was $1 million and Negley, but if you look at how much money is spent in the Championship and compared to how much money we've spent and the team we've put together, this is the best, in my opinion, potentially the best team we have been able to put out in the last 10 years, and it's because of what Bex just said, what we do behind the scenes to make them a team.
And can I just say,
Bex, the only add-on to that. sorry, mate. The only add-on to that is they have to be a certain type of person as well.
Yeah.
Because if they haven't got that ability to engage in the Millwall way, then they've no chance, haven't they? You know, they've got to be strong characters, as it were.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bex.
No, sorry. And Jesper, sorry, I know that we are going to come to you. You're sitting there so patiently. But all I was going to say was, like, we obviously say about these players as well, but actually when we look at Alex Neil and what he's brought, I don't know if like any of you have watched any of the footage back over these last few matches, but he is literally living that game with the players. He is feeling every header, every kick.
And,
he's going through it, and I think that really just shows how much as a team they really are, from the manager down to the players, probably down to the boot boys. Actually, everyone is feeling this journey that we're going on. I think Alex has really brought something that we haven't seen in a real long time. We were missing a manager like him. Obviously, we've had all of our past ones, and I just think that he's just that fit at the minute, and it's working. So yeah, sorry, Jesper, over to you.
Yeah, but just to contribute to that, you know, we always in the past we spoke a lot about, you know, we need these sort of Millwall type players. We need this Millwall-ness. And I've always sort of contradicted it a little bit, saying like you need players who wants to play for the manager. The manager is the one who's in charge of everything. Yeah. It's, you know, I'm giving slack to the players who were in the past who's done a very decent service for us, but I'm just not always buying this. Yes, you need to understand the club. Yes, you need to understand the culture. But in the end, you need to be, and you need to want to play for that manager who's in charge of the team. And we can just see everyone is on board with everything right now. There's a good camaraderie within the club. They get along, and that's part of the reason why we're at the top of the league right now. That, you know, that's yes, everything I just said, like, you know, camaraderie and understanding the manager. It's not just about quality and money that gets you to the top of the table. Look at Leicester. You know, they should be up there, but everything just falling to pieces inside the club. Look at Tottenham, for instance, big clubs, for instance, where everything is a mess. Man United, for instance, it's so important, and it's not just about having played for the club for 8 or 10 years. It's about who's in charge and getting behind that guy and making sure you leave it all out there Tuesday, Saturday.
And excellent. On that, love Jesper, that. Are those superstar players at Leicester going to want to play with 11 men behind the ball, Gary Rowett style of football?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a terrible appointment if this is true, but, you know, that's their mess. But no, I don't think so. And I'm just so glad that we're not in that mess anymore, because you go back to Ian Holloway, got promoted with Blackpool, thought he could replicate it. We had, you know, all these journeymen coming in: Meyerhofer, Simeon Jackson, DJ Campbell, Ricardo Fuller, Richard Chaplow, Scott McDonald. It was
watching
just,
Gary Taylor Fletcher actually gave me hope of getting becoming a professional footballer. I thought, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it.
Honestly, no, but it's just we just come a long way from these sort of players and this sort of type of manager, and as a club as well, we're just growing. You know, it's a really, really good time to be a Millwall fan, and you can see it now. We sold out again against Portsmouth come Saturday. It's the 10th sellout, and we're not even at the end of the season yet. It's fantastic.
Incredible. And just your final thoughts, sorry, on Taylor, Jesper. I don't think you
I mean, again, incredible development. I mean, the first few games, yes, a bit shaky, but who wouldn't be? You know, it was his first few games. You're coming into a new club. You're a young kid. Hadn't played championship football before, you know, had only played in League One for, you know, in various loan spells. So I think he's taken it on really well. Is a huge threat from set pieces as well. And he should have actually had more goals by now than what he has, you know, but he gets into very good position, takes some pressure off Coops as well. It's Air Force One down there. It's fantastic. And I think the only doubt we probably had before he came in was, could we have two lanky fellas in the back? You know, are we going to get overrun by, you know, sharp, quick strikers? And the answer has just been, no, we're not, because they're positioning so well and we're set up so well that we're not getting played in behind. And you know, I think his partnership with Cooper has been excellent from day one, really. I think the only game where he was a bit shaky was probably the first one. But he came up again, a really experienced striker, in Michael Smith from Preston as well. It was a big unit, 34 years of age, and, you know, knows the championship in and out. So probably the best game he could start in because he's only gotten better from.
It was a
from that
baptism
game,
of fire, wasn't it?
It was,
Yeah.
and he came out fairly well, but has only improved massively since. Fantastic story.
And I love this comment. I love this comment as well from Mummy Main. She says, "Do you think Crammer would have been moved to right back and Taylor brought into the team if Leonard had not got injured?"
That's a really good question. Yeah, I'd still see a way that could have happened because I think Alex would have wanted to ease Caleb in as well. You know, remember he's 22, hadn't played championship football. We still had Tanganga until the end of August, so there was also a period, and how was it? We sold Tanganga mid-August. He came in or end August or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably wanted to ease him in slowly, you know, getting used to the club, getting to know your teammates, and then we'll see from there. I think we would have seen him even though Leonard wouldn't have got injured.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers, guys. So Saturday, Mill versus Portsmouth. Obviously, we're hoping for another win. Let's hope we can try and get that win in. So we're going to start with I think it's Stato this time. Is it from memory or is it Bex? I can't remember who.
Might be Bex. I think it's Bex.
Bex, yeah. Bex, what's your formation or lineup and your score prediction? Again, guys in the chat, let us know your prediction for Saturday score prediction as well, and who would you pick? What would you go for?
Part of me is just thinking stick with the team that we put out. Bannan, I really don't want him to go into that 10, but I feel like just let it run. We need to give it a go for a few weeks, maybe. If Alec feels that it's going to work, let's just stick with it. So I'm thinking stick with that. Bring on Watson later in the game. I don't know. I'm really struggling, to be honest with you, on it. Because part of me is just going, let's not play Bannan. But then are we saying we want a number 10? We don't want to start Langstaff. No, do you know what? Stick with the team. And I think score prediction, I think it's going to be a 2-0 to us.
Right, okay. Cheers.
Sorry, I'll finish out there.
Jesper, how about yourself?
Same team minus Coburn. I think we're going to play the Serb. It looks like Portsmouth might be his team. You know, he scored twice against them at home last season. He scored one.
That's true.
At Fratton Park as well. So I think he's going to start, and then I think Patterson's going to come in for Max as well. Otherwise, I can't see.
Would you keep Neckley on the left then, Jesper? You wouldn't.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I will. I think also now we have the odd opportunity to have some continuity in our team, which we haven't had all season. So I think Alex would want to sort of keep, you know, momentum going and only make a few changes. So I think we're gonna put out the same team. Also because I don't believe that Watson is ready for maybe 90. He could potentially start, but I see him as a game changer at the moment, building up fitness, and then going into March, we might see him maybe start on the left instead of Neckley, or Neckley might be moved into a different position. So, but I think same 11 minus Coburn minus Max.
And with Patterson in goal, yeah.
Yes.
And score prediction, sorry.
2-0.
2-0. Who's going to score?
The Serb.
Both of them. Okay. And Bex, you said 2-0. Who's scoring your goals, Bex?
Coburn and Femi.
Nice, like that. Disco, how about yourself?
Yeah, you've influenced me there, Jesper. I would have said same 11 other than Patterson coming in for Crocombe. Sorry to a few of the listeners there, especially Bobby T, who said he'd be heartbroken if we do that. But sorry, Bobby, it's got to be done. Got to be ruthless in this game. But actually, I'm with you, Jesper. Really, really good call. There are players that like certain clubs, isn't there? Especially goal scorers, for instance. It's a real good call to put the Serb in to start. And Alex has been mixing it up, hasn't he? Chopping and changing for fresh legs as such. So I'm going to go Patterson in same 11, except for Patterson, same 11, but Patterson in goal and the Serb up front. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win, and I'm going to go 2 for the Serb. And I don't know whether to go Azizi Zizi or Caleb Taylor. I'm going to go Azizi Zizi for the
Azizi. There you go, Disco. Stato, how about yourself?
I'd said it earlier, 2 changes. Watson in for Bannan, Patterson in for Crocombe, Negley in the 10, and go with 2 out-and-out wide players. And I will go 3-1 Millwall obviously, and I will go Coburn, Negley, and Aziz, goal scorers.
Oh, nice bit of variety there. Excellent. I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with the same team as Saturday. I do like. I think Coburn does give us as a lone strike. I think he does give us a lot more, but I won't have Bannan in the 10. I think I'll put Negley in the 10. I'm going to start Watson on the left-hand side, give him 60 minutes, give him a good half. We could do 10, 15 minutes second half, then bring him off and bring somebody else in. And I will definitely put Patterson in goal. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 win as well. And I'm going to go for Coburn, and I'm going to go for Negley in the number 10 role. I can see Negley playing the 10 and nicking a goal, getting a score. Guys, I think that's pretty much it now. One thing I want to say very quickly, guys, is young Charlie. If you remember the young lad who's raising money for Cancer Research UK alongside Chat with Chaps and also for Lions Food Hub, he's doing his challenge. I think he's challenged tomorrow, where he's sit on every single seat, isn't he? Throughout the dinner. I think he's doing it over 2, possibly 3 days, because it's like 20,000 seats. He's going to be doing it. So we wish Charlie all the best with that, and thank you for all those guys that donated for Charlie. It's been fantastic. I know his parents were really, really happy and blown away. And I believe Barry Bannan donated £200 to young Charlie for his for his fantastic thing he's going to be doing over the next sort of few days. So again, massive thank you to Barry Bannan for that. Really kind of you. Love your donation, and good luck to Charlie on behalf of every Millwall fan, of course, the Chat with Chats family as well. So we do wish you all the best to yourself, Charlie. What else? Guys, please make sure you like and subscribe. Again, we need to get to 300 likes. We did it once. We need to do it again.
It's unbelievable, Joe. I think, are we right? It's only 88 I've got on here.
Well, every time you say that, it always goes to about 100, about another 20 or 4 likes go on. So look, you heard what Disco says. Make sure you like, guys. If you haven't liked yet already, make sure it's 194 of you in the live at the moment. So make sure you like. And if you watch this back as a recording, make sure you like. Okay, so what line do we need to prove that people are with us right to the very end? So we had the face that runs the place the other week, didn't we? We had the big stick between the big unit between the sticks.
Sticks.
What's this week's one?
Ooh, good question.
Right, let's think about it. Before we do that, let's say goodbye. Let's say our goodbye. So Bex, we're gonna start.
But does Gatto not have to say something? Did he not have an announcement?
Right at the very end. Yeah, we're going to do.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. What do I need to say? Thank you for having me. Thanks for having me very late.
You're our special guest tonight, aren't you, by the way?
Special guest. And yeah, good luck to Charlie. I know I've been speaking with his mum, and they're really proud of him. So really good luck to him and the next few days. Yeah. And I don't admire you for doing 20,000 odd squats. So good luck.
That's right, exactly. Cheers for that, Bex. Thanks for coming on. Jesper, any final words from yourself?
Stay positive. Enjoy being a Millwall fan for a while. It's been a while since it's been this sort of positive, and I envy every single one who goes to the ground on Saturday. Full stadium again. We know Portsmouth, they bring a really good following as well, so this could be a cracking atmosphere. Good luck to you, Charlie. You're gonna have quite some Timberlakes once you're done with that challenge. So all the best. Wow, incredible. So yeah, thanks for having me on again. It's always a pleasure and always good fun.
Brilliant. Cheers for that, Jesper. Thanks as well for you to come on this evening. Really do appreciate it. Disco, any final words from yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. He really enjoyed it. Thanks to the listeners, as always. Some great comments. Look, we're not all going to agree on everything all the time, but that's great. Everybody's got opinions, and that's what makes football great, let alone supporting Millwall. What a bloody time to be supporting us right now. We are really the real deal this year and have a real opportunity to do something really special. And unlike me on Saturday, we all need to calm down and be a little bit more patient and not get too nervous. I think Alex alluded to it in his comments, didn't he? That, look, get used to this. We're going to have some challenges over the next 14 games. let's trust in what the guys are doing, and they'll bring it home for us, I'm sure. Thanks and well done to everybody doing everything for charity right now. Makes this show so much more important and enjoyable, doesn't it? That we're doing some real good as well for cancer 100%. Research. So great. Have a great week. Look forward to Saturday.
Cheers, Disco. I like this comment as well. 300 likes.
Oh, not again, really?
On the big screen. Could you imagine that? You know, like before the game starts off, you know, Neil put a little video, little intro of all the goals we scored for the season. Can you imagine they just put Joe's Hampers goal at the beginning? That would be brilliant.
That's got to be the comment. Joe's goal on the big screen.
Or you'll empty the ground out.
Well, so what's the comment going to be there? Is it going to be get Joe's goal on the big screen?
I was going to say, can I take the responsibility after Steve threw me under the bus earlier and go all out and say Negley in the 10? It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Negley in the 10.
It's gonna work. Okay.
But Joe's goal on the big screen, I think, has got to be there. It's got to be there.
So, guys, hopefully the club are watching this. Comment at the end. At the end, we're going to comment on YouTube and say Joe's goal on the big screen. Yeah.
Or what game do we want it on? Maybe we can get it on our charity day.
On the 6th of April.
Yeah,
there you go. 6th
of April. Maybe we need to really champion it.
Hang on, this is getting a bit of momentum now. I'm getting a bit worried about this. Steady on.
Part of me would be so proud, but the other part of me would really cringe if I was watching at the den.
Yeah, right.
Like, go off on a big screen before the kickoff. That'd be so funny.
They could you know what they could do? They could put it in between. Sorry, it's going a bit far now. Sorry, Disco. They could put it in between all the really good goals, and then they just kind of slot you in just to throw things out a little bit.
Chris is chatting. Look, Chris is commenting. Joe's miss on the big screen instead. No. Let's get Joe's goal on there. Let's get Joe there. So what we'll go for his comment. Sorry, get Joe's goal on the big screen, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Champion this now.
We're going to go for it. Get Joe's goal on the big screen. There you go. Right. Stato, final words from yourself, and you got a little announcement for us as well, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, firstly, thanks to the listeners and everybody that's raising money for charity. On that subject, I have felt a little bit inspired. There'll be people that know me from doing the podcast for a little while. Joe obviously has known me quite a while himself, and I was a little bit of a heavyweight, shall we say? So I have
you're a heavy bone, weren't you? You're heavy bone.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will be running 100 miles in April. I am not fit enough, unfortunately, to do it in 4 days like the lads that are going to Coventry. However, I'll be running 100 miles in April. I will be doing it on behalf of the podcast. Obviously, I've spoke to Chris. He's given me his blessing as a little bit of a boost for our fundraising. So I have felt inspired by a lot of the guys that do a lot of good work for us. Steve hit the nail on the head that the most rewarding thing about doing this show isn't anything other than people wanting to raise money for cancer research and seeing the total just go up and up and up. I think we all share that sentiment. So I will be running 100 miles in April. It works out 3.5 miles a day, but I'm not going to do it. I can't commit to running every day. So I'll be doing sort of 6-7 miles a day when I am running. The link and pages will all go up. I know we always ask for support on these things, and even if it's £1, it would be very, very appreciated. But I have, as I say, it's very rewarding what we do for cancer research, and I just want to do my little bit. So, and thank you to everybody that has donated and has helped us get to the position that we're in.
You do realise, Stato, with all that training you're going to be doing, all that running you're going to be doing, you're going to be fit as fuck. And you can now cash in your old missus, just get rid of her and get a new version, get a new model in, more of a advanced sort of model.
No. Joe, that is outrageous, Joe. That is outrageous.
I'm just saying he can upgrade now, can't he? I'm sure Shane's watching this. It's between us. No one else knows it. We're just talking.
No pain, no gain, Steve.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're going to put all the work here. You might as well get something else out of it as well, you know.
Like I said, the effort that is going in to this run and getting fitter.
It's not to pull a new bird.
I will be playing in the fans game this year, and I want my goal to be up on the big screen, and I want my goal to be played every time we do a Chat with Chaps live. So the aim is to be as fit as possible for the fans games in May.
There you go. Look, see, even Chris says it. He will train in Mrs. Chats for Bradshaw's missions, so he gets it. See, Chris knows what I'm talking about.
No,
trust me. All I'm saying is, don't rule it out. Okay.
All I'm saying is Mark Murphy, relationship advice from Joe, question mark, worse than his goal. That's the comment.
Well,
I'm going to put this on record. I am putting this on record.
Mummy Jones is obviously a big fan of your girlfriend, I take it, isn't she?
Yeah, I am very, very happy with Miss Stato, not Mrs. Stato, just at the moment. So I am not having any slander anymore from you, Joe.
All I'm saying
I'm not having any slander.
You don't have to rush down that path just yet. All I'm saying, just think about it, okay?
I'll tell you what.
When those ads start popping out, and start realizing, actually, you know what? I can start shopping in Waitrose now rather than, it just gives you a better selection.
You know what we got to do? I can feel it coming on now. The sponsored Chat with Chaps Naked Attraction featuring.
Yes. that will raise lots of money.
That will lose every subscriber possible. We don't need that, Steve. We don't need that.
On that fine note, that's me off.
Right. On that note, listen, guys. Remember, guys. I know I've seen a few comments on here where they're saying about get Joe's goal on the big screen. We've got to do it after. So when we finish the live, go back into the YouTube and then put in there, get Joe's goal on the big screen, okay? And hopefully Mill Football Club will watch it and make my dreams come true.
Pull it back, Joe.
All right?
Pull it back.
I know. Right, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for my co-host being on this evening. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much to you guys watching the show and watching the back of the show as well. Enjoy the game on Saturday. We will see you next week on the next live. And from all of us, thanks a lot and bye for now. See ya.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.